This is the fence line, as you can see. These people back here are all waiting to get in. This is that 16-foot chute, and that thing is jam solid packed. These people down here, you can see they're facing the other way. They're trying to get out. Now, the density of the crowd coming in stopped the density from the crowd coming out. They meshed right there. You couldn't go either way. And what actually happened with that fence line, if you looked at it afterwards, as we were taking it out, that fence line was pushed back 10 to 15 foot into the park, basically from the crowd densities. The fence is held in place by concrete blocks that have 2 holes in them. And as we went through them, what we noticed was the crowd density was so great and the pressure against it was so great, it actually twisted those until it broke the concrete.
This could have been a situation where we could have had people hurt if there was a panic situation?
Absolutely. I've never heard noises like I heard that day when I was out there, and I was out there during this time. When we started taking the fence down, I was there, and the crowd noises were one of panic.
Yeah, I'd like to add that we had some heat exhaustion situations. Some people were panicking in the crowd as well. It was as close as we've ever gotten to a major incident.
Now, what was the width of this area before the fence went up, like the prior years?
26 foot at a minimum.
26 foot is a minimum.
This actually area had 2 paths. See, this is the embayment area, which we refer to as the bite out of Seattle. But there used to be another path that came down this way. So basically you had 2 paths, of which both of them were approximately 16 foot and had grass on either side. So you came from that situation in this area to one 16-foot path with fence on either side. It changes the dynamics quite a bit.
And this land right here, is this park property?
This is park's property, absolutely. It's the Alaska Way right-of-way.
All right. And you say you moved the fence, so you
Yeah.
physically took the poles out and allowed the...
What we did is we got some bolt cutters and we went along and managed to get over on this side where the crowd wasn't, get through the fence, get over, and get to where the crowd was having the most problems, and physically with a bolt cutter, cut the wires between the fence and lean the fence down so that the crowd could spill out.
Did you also use any earth moving equipment to regrade or clear
We
dirt?
moved, there was a few boulders that had been placed in the landscape area, and in order on Sunday to allow for greater egress, we had, it was Bobcat brand, but it's not a Bobcat. It's basically what it was is a soft-tired vehicle that we could use for loading of band equipment. And we did move some boulders in so that we could move the fence out. Otherwise, we would have 16 feet the next day.
And what did you move the fence to on the following day?
We didn't measure. I would say it was probably about 25 foot.
And once we moved the fence, the boulders were actually major physical obstructions at that point. They're very dangerous, considering that they're just lone boulders right on the path.
Yeah, you could not see them in a crowd situation, so they would just be a tripping hazard.
So this I take as a point of contention that Sam considers to be damage to their property?
It's one of the points of contention, yes.
Okay.
The current situation, access to Myrtle Edwards Park from Pier 70 and Broad Street must be suitable for special events and code compliant. Without that accommodation, there are risk management issues for crowding, queuing, security checks, and emergency vehicle access. Currently, there's an 11-foot wide road and a single trail around the cove, which present some limitations for load-in. Here you can see the conditions prior to the 2006 construction. There's the trolley barn, the area where we used to have our queuing. This is the area that's been removed for the Beach Cove area. This is the old turnaround. Here's the other previous turnaround. Here's the 2 paths which existed at that time.
And you can see there's grass on either side. So to answer your question,
this was a very
yes,
wide
it's
area.
very wide.
Here we see the conditions during construction in 2006, last year. You can see right here, this is the chute that we're talking about. The area that you were just photographed that you're looking at, the crowd was taken from this vantage point. This is the Beach Cove area that we were talking about earlier.
Could you, okay.
Sure.
Maybe you're going there. Go ahead.
Okay. The This is the current layout for the Olympic Sculpture Park redesign. The areas in yellow show pedestrian flow, pedestrian access. This is the sidewalk that was previously there, kind of dead ends right here. This is what is referred to as the boulevard. We call it Hemp Street. It's the drive lane in.
And I'd like to throw in that upper pathway is not designed for vehicle load, so you may not have a vehicle on that upper pathway.
Do you know what the width of that upper pathway is?
I think it's about 10 or 11 feet,
Yeah,
probably.
so the only